Hello?
What happened to the lights? How'd they get broke? I've been using it for 5 years.
Yeah.
And the dog chewed it and...
Oh my gosh! The coffee shops I used to work at. That's funny. I got this comment the other day. Oh wait, I forgot. I was gonna read it. Hello. Hi Brianna, I'm sorry if this is too private, but I would love to hear the general story about your parents, like how they met and stuff. And I love this idea because my parents are probably my favorite people. They definitely are on earth. I just love them so much. So I want this for myself, and so I'm glad that you asked. Okay, you're rolling. Do you want me to read you the comment, or did you already get it?
I'm a real cheese. You can
Dad's
go
a
ahead and
cheese
give
ball.
your recollection.
Okay, well, where do we start? So I had a girlfriend that I actually, I was couch surfing.
Gigi.
So she was dating your foreman.
Yeah, Roberto.
Okay, wait, start with the year and where you were.
Oh, okay. It was, what, 94?
Yeah.
And so she said, I have a really good friend that I want you to meet. And she had some tickets to go out on the Fairwinds. We all got together and went on the Fairwinds, driving my little green Toyota Celica, right? And there's this really tall guy comes and we all just piled in the car.
That's exactly what I remember.
Yeah.
Really?
That I came down, we were on the 3rd story of the Kona Plaza, and I was with Roberto and his girlfriend Kirsten before they got married, and we were gonna all go for a boat ride from Honokahau to Captain Cook Monument, go for a snorkel, and they said, yeah, Debbie's gonna come and we'll just go in her car, and she called and said, I'm downstairs. So we all went down there, and I had never met her, and so we met right there on the
in the
first
parking lot.
floor in the parking lot, and I saw this old green Toyota car and this sweet blonde girl get out, and I go, oh, fun, we'll just go in this car, and then I won't have to drive. And so we all piled in her car and went to the harbor and got on this boat, and it was like a booze cruise or something.
No, it wasn't really. It
was a snorkel cruise.
It was a snorkel
but
cruise.
They had booze, or beer.
And then
Kealakekua Bay.
Finished and in the mid-afternoon, and then just all stayed together and went out to dinner or something. I don't know. Maybe we didn't.
Living on Ali'i Drive.
Yeah. And then
I tried to get her to stay home with me, and she goes,
no.
Not on the first date. Stay here on the first date. Oh, bummer.
We just saw each other like regularly after that.
Yeah.
And it was fun, and we went on adventures. Like we had the
Green
4-wheel
Sand
drive.
Beach.
Yeah, we went on had the 4-wheel
Like a week
drive
later.
truck and went on all these different, adventures on the island. And
Went to Kauai.
we went to Kauai a few months after we met.
I think we had a baby within 6 months.
Yeah, we started. Yeah, it was a surprise.
Best deal I've ever been through.
Yay! I know you were really, really super happy
Yeah.
at the very beginning, and I had to lean in, and I got to lean in and go, okay, I'm gonna do this. I've never really wanted to be a mom. I didn't think that I'd be a good mom, but
That's one
once I made the decision, it was
point
like,
that I would tell everyone is that you're never ready to have a baby. Ever. You always think that you have to have $1 million, you have to have a house, you have to have a job that's going to last for 25 years, and everything has to be perfect before you decide to have a kid. But we'll show you, we'll prove it that you don't have to have your shit together to have a baby, because we made the best baby in the world, and It turned out great, and we weren't rich by any means, but we did it. And
We had a lot of support, all of our family
our
supporting
families,
us, and really did have like a,
our parents, our siblings.
yeah.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
And
But then how did you like co-parent? Because people know that you guys aren't like.
Oh.
Yeah, after a couple years,
Together,
we really
together.
realized that it was just
Yeah, my
gonna be
lifestyle
better.
in Kona was like, party, work hard, party hard, right out of the condo, and, just trying to keep the fence company going. And, I didn't know that Mom was just, wanting something different. And so then you guys went to Colorado for a while, and then I gave up the fence company and went and did taxes with Mom and Dad, my Mom and Dad, taxes and investments, and visited you guys, LA to Colorado, and then Colorado, you guys moved to Oregon. So that was closer, from 17-hour drive to 10-hour drive. But
Actually, it was a 12-hour drive.
to Colorado?
No, to Oregon.
12, right. 5 in the morning I could leave and
Get
get
there
there
at 5 in the afternoon.
to my girls at 5 in the afternoon. It's like cool.
But we did. We just made a commitment to say, we have a different lifestyle, but we're gonna do this together no matter what. And
Because of love.
because we both loved our daughter, and I know that not everybody that has a different lifestyle can. It's a commitment to really make it happen, and for safety, issues, and there's some good reasons to have that space, but ours was just
You always were allowing me to come and see our girl.
Yeah.
You always had the open door policy. She just said, look, whenever you want to see us, you're welcome to come and see us. And that was the biggest thing, because if she would have said, sorry, see you, Ron, I'm taking our daughter, it wouldn't have worked out, because I love my girl too much to just not be around her. So Debbie just was so open and loving and letting me come visit anytime I wanted. That just kept us together and forever. And then we just always got along and been best friends ever since.
Yeah, we were neighbors most of her life.
How much was your phone bill? You used to tell me
Oh,
when I was
God.
like 3.
Yeah, you were 3 years old, and I missed you so much when you were in Colorado and I was in LA. My parents were living in the house next to me, and they let me stay in this other house. And I said, I gotta talk to my daughter at least once a day. And it was long distance calls, so like every month I
25 years
get
ago.
like $400 phone bill, but I did not care. I just said, it's so important, and they knew how much I loved her, and that we made it work. And,
Well, and didn't one time you come and visit me, and I was like, who's this stranger?
oh, that was another story.
What was that?
That's when
I don't remember that.
you moved out in October or September, and then I moved to LA in October, and I said, so that's a month went by, and then November and December went by, and I went to Europe or something, and you guys didn't go, and I was like missing you so bad that
Why'd you go to
January
Europe?
we went with the Dion's. They had some family get together. It just worked out that way. But I would be calling you from Europe, just 8-hour difference, and talking to a 3-year-old that could, who knows what we were talking about, but for half an hour at a time. And so I let 3 months go by without seeing them. And then when I flew to Colorado, they picked me up at the airport, and I saw them across the airport terminal, and I saw Debbie holding Brianna, and I started walking fast up to him, and I was like putting my arms out, and I looked at Brianna, and she's just like, who is that? I know him, but I don't. And I just said, oh my God, she's forgot who I was after 2.5 years of living together, and going everywhere together, and walks every day, and just being together. She forgot who I was, or part of
seemed
her
like.
seemed like she was curious, like I know him, but I'm not sure.
It wasn't like, Dad.
No, it wasn't like, oh, there he is, I missed him all this time. It was like, I don't know. And then from that second, I just said, I'm never going to let 3 months go by again and be away from her, because I love her too much to, miss out on that. And never did. And then we talked every day on the phone for the next 24 years.
Well, and I
Well,
have
not-
a different.
but
I have
then we-
actually a different. I have a different take on.
Okay, what?
On we'll never let 3 months ever go by again because you weren't actually a crying baby. That just wasn't who you were. And when he left, and it was all that time lapsed, you cried all the time. And it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this crying child? And
so hurts my heart.
and I'm like, oh my God. And then when you guys saw each other, it was like, I will never, you stopped crying.
Yeah.
You stopped crying. And it was like, I will never do this to this child again.
No.
And we never did. We made it a
Right.
pact that we just
Always
always
never
saw
let
each
3
other
months
at least once a month.
go.
Either
And
I would drive.
The phone helps so much.
Yeah.
Just, hi, Daddy. A 3-year-old or 4-year-old.
But that only lasted for what, 2 more years? Because then we all moved back to Hawaii.
Right. And then
Like a year and a half. And
We
then-
moved back to Hawaii when you
No.
were
You were in Oregon
6.
for like 2 years.
Right, but that was only
A year.
2 years from Colorado to Oregon.
Yeah, because you left in 1998, September, and then you ended up moving back in 2002. It was a year after 9/11, because you got on the plane on 9/10, and we're going, oh, this is the anniversary of 9/11, I hope it's safe. And then me and Adriana dropped you and Mom off at the airport, and you flew to Hawaii, and I still couldn't move to Hawaii yet, because I was working
But
with
then
my
you moved.
parents.
Oh, yeah, and you didn't move to Hawaii till 2005.
Right, until 2005. So
Oh.
you were with Roberto and Kirsten, and then you got your own place and beach lots.
Yeah.
But I would still come over come over for a month sometimes.
Right.
And,
You're bringing them the bacon.
yeah, bringing home the bacon. And,
Yeah. Supported us a lot.
and then I just couldn't believe it when Stephen and Margie bought the
Bought the
orchid
orchid
farm and said they needed somebody to run it, and it happened
Which was
to be a
neighbors.
block away
Yeah.
from you guys.
It was a block.
Holy crap, that was the most excited I think I've been since you were born. I said, yes, I so wanted to
Get out of LA.
be back in Hawaii and work in the field or work in the dirt and nature instead of, I was more happy doing that than paperwork and taxes, and because I couldn't figure out all those laws and rules. I wanted to know them 100%, but
They were
couldn't.
constantly changing.
Yeah, constantly changing, and I wanted to be able to answer every question and couldn't. So anyway, I was orchid farmer for 13 years and
We were neighbors.
and living with these two guys for
And
13 years.
eventually we ended up in the same home
Oh,
structure.
yeah.
So how did you do it? If people are like, so they weren't together this whole time.
We
How
were
did they
really
do
great
it?
neighbors. We just
Yeah.
were, and I was the carpool mom. I would go over, and because eventually you chose to live with Dad. It was just your
Dad had
choice.
At
junk
the farm.
food.
Yeah, Dad's house was the way more fun house. I had some stricter guidelines.
Like no towels on the floor, pick your clothes up, and I'd go.
If it's bugging
love
me, I'll
so
do
much.
it myself.
I'll pick it up. I'll just pick it up. It's no big deal, Just let her go on her jolly way, and not get mad at her. And that's another thing is because absent makes a heart grow fonder or something. And when I was away from her, my heart was just hurting the whole time. And so when I was with her, I was just happy as a clam. I just said that this is more love than I could ever express. And maybe it was from being away from her. So you know, anyone out there that, you know, you're separated from your loved ones, when you come back to them, that just brings you that much closer, and the love is so much more intense. And
well, it's the opportunity, and that's what we, you know, you took, and that's what we always just, you know, worked on just working together and just being, you know, it wasn't always easy by any means for any of us, but we just had that commitment to, and we had the, you know, the loving foundation of our families once again, really just supporting whatever needed to happen, supporting us, and just, you know, pulling for you know,
thank you
for our strengths, and knowing, you know, the challenges and just working through them. So I mean, we worked through a lot, but it was, you know, as I've learned in these last, you know, this short time, it's like everything's connected. Even the challenges are somehow, you know, benefits that we don't see when we're in the middle of the challenge, but they're, for the highest and best somehow. And I mean, some of our biggest challenges are our biggest miracles now. Yeah, I love our family, and I love, you know, what we have, the support that we each have for each other.
Which is crazy that you also had me like so fast into knowing each other, right?
Yeah.
And then it actually like
worked
somehow.
Yeah. And even though we decided, I basically decided that it was better for, and you agreed to
be
in the same house.
Right.
It's like we can be
it was
the
too
best
hard
of
because
neighbors.
we were so different.
You guys are so
like,
different. It's
food,
like the most insane
she's like
thing.
Always very, sticks and branches. And,
Not, but you know, it seems like
salads
that.
and brown rice and veggies for dinner, and I'd come home and I'd go, man, I want some like chicken and potatoes and
hamburgers and French fries.
Hamburgers and French fries. I need some
whatever.
food, and I don't want salad and rice. And but that was just one thing. And then doctors, and we had different views on a lot of things, but we had a girl, so we both knew that we wanted the best for her and loved her so much that we put, you know, we kept it going. Always were friends, you know. We didn't want, because that would be the biggest mistake if you separate because your little squabbles or something and became enemies, and then you have a daughter that you both love. That doesn't work out too good, I don't think. So we got lucky and that we remained friends, and we got a good grandma over there. Hi, Grammy. It's always amazing.
Yeah, totally.
What a trip this life is, folks.
It is
Hang in there, and just love solves all problems.
It is. Love does. Love
Yeah.
is the answer to everything, and everybody's perspective of that is different. But we just, you know, I'm not the easiest person on some things to work with, and
Me too.
you weren't either. But we just had that commitment to.
So focus on the good stuff,
Mhm.
not the negative stuff.
Mm-hmm. To the best of our ability, that's what we did, and I think that that's really what carried us through. Is just the spirit of life. You know, the spirit of life is always with us, and always, you know, supporting that the highest and best, I always say, is always
Helps
unfolding.
that you're beautiful. She hasn't made it benefit to
That's
this,
what I
to this planet.
actually, I said, I was like, well, if my girl is so beautiful and she came through me, that
Right.
means somehow, some way I must be
Gee,
beautiful too.
of course.
Yeah, Mama.
So anyway, that's kind of how one of the circles that I
We-
wove, and yeah, but it was just like this natural. We met and we just started having these fun adventures, and we just kept going on fun adventures and having fun, and it was
Want a
just like
baby?
this. And
Sure.
well, I don't think that we had that conversation initially, but we did after we found out that I was pregnant, and
And I was very
so
blessed.
happy, so
blessed.
happy.
Yeah, I was like 44 years old.
You were 44?
Folks, if you think you're too old, then forget it. Just have a kid.
You were 44.
Yeah, I thought I was never going to have a baby, and I saw the opportunity to experience it. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I cannot believe I would have missed out on it. So I say everyone have babies. Young, old, it doesn't matter. Go for it. We didn't have it together, and it worked out just fine. Now we got a beautiful girl.
Yay.
And that's a wrap.
I love
And
you.
that's a wrap.
That's rough.
Blessing.
What
I
a,
love you guys.
what a movie star mom is.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, I mean, basically,
Part
I mean, we
one.
just,
No, tell the whole story.
well, that is the whole story. I mean, we